This is Heavy Conversation with Bruce and Jody, a podcast where we talk about being a big guy in today's world. I'm Bruce. And I'm Jody. Here we go.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go.
Hey, Bruce.
Jody, hello.
How are you doing over there?
I'm good. I'm a little sore, a little tired. I went for a long bike ride today.
Nice.
And, yeah. It's kind of been the way to get out and do something when you can't really get out right now. So
right.
I decided to just ride out of the city, and I just kept riding, and then suddenly I was in farmland and realized that I had to get back home.
Right. I know. It's always like, do, and then you're like, oh, wait, I got to do all that over again and get back
Exactly.
home.
Yes. So I was like, well, all right, I guess I'll go back. So yeah. So my legs are not thanking me right now, but it was fun. It was good.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I went for a little walk today. Nothing quite that extreme. Just walk around the block, grab coffee, walk around with the dog. It's cool today. It's nice. It's kind of nice out. So nothing crazy hot.
Yeah. So I'm wearing this sweatshirt, which I threw on this morning because it was 50 something degrees out, in August. So yeah, I'm definitely, that's the weird thing about being here is you have those high highs and then you get it felt like fall,
Yeah, it definitely did. When I woke up, I was like, oh boy, it's chilly in here.
Yes. But it was good to get out.
Well, that's good. So today, I think we wanted to kind of chat a little bit about some of the store closings, the Chapter 11. What does that mean for retail? Kind of talk a little bit about, like I said, some of the store closings and maybe demystify what Chapter 11 is from a little bit of research that we've done. We're not accountants or legal advice or anything like that, but just kind of a little bit of info on what's going on out there in the retail world.
Yeah, so you might have seen in the last week that Men's Wearhouse, the parent company of Men's Wearhouse, filed for bankruptcy, and you've probably purchased some article of clothing from Men's Wearhouse at some point in your life. They do carry a lot of big and tall, extended size stuff, and they're not the only ones that have filed for bankruptcy. So what does that mean? We want to talk about some of that and kind of how that's going to affect big and tall shopping in the real world.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly haven't done much shopping at Men's Wearhouse. I have at some of the K&G Fashion is one of the tailored brands, is the parent company of Men's Wearhouse. So they own a couple other. So there was a K&G discount sort of place. I think we shopped there a few times when we were in Vegas. I haven't actually seen those here in the Portland area, but it's definitely weird to see so many more store closings after the COVID kind of thing going on. That's definitely going to be something that's a little different.
Definitely. And specifically with Men's Wearhouse, they announced that they're going to close about 500 stores, which is a huge number. And they are cutting about 20% of their corporate jobs, which is also a big hit. They have, as many people and companies they've been taking a big hit because of the pandemic and have been trying to deal with that, with stores closed. What do you do in that case, especially for these companies where their stores are really their bread and butter? Yes, having an online presence is good, but an established company like this, Men's Wearhouse, has been around for a long time,
and they're everywhere.
Yeah, and so this is a big shift, and it does take away options that we've had for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It was kind of weird because when I was working at the Casual Mail location, which is part of DXL down in Clackamas, which is kind of south of Portland, there's a Men's Wearhouse basically right next door, and we would kind of go back and forth about servicing some of the same guests. We'd get smaller guys that would come in to the Casual Mail, and we're like, oh, you could actually go next door and they'll have stuff for you. We don't have anything small enough for you. And they would send some bigger guys to us. So it was kind of a mutual benefit kind of spot to be in, which was kind of nice. But yeah, it's going to be weird not having a couple more, those other options to go actually into the store, try things on, and I think, as we've mentioned before, big and tall guys really need to actually try on a little bit more. because the fits and every brand are a little bit different. So sometimes it's harder when you do buy online to just, grab a couple different sizes, order two different sizes to see if one of them will work for you. So I always enjoy actually going into the store and shopping, like touching the things, actually trying them on. And sometimes I get
Sure.
things maybe that I wasn't expecting to get and that are fun little finds, like little treasure hunt kind of a deal when you go into the store.
Totally. And this isn't just Men's Warehouse that's experiencing this. We're also seeing it with JCPenney and Lane Bryant,
Mm-hmm.
J. Crew, which we're not wearing any J. Crew, Lord and Taylor. There are a lot of companies that are dealing with this. They're closing stores. They're filing for bankruptcy. And it's like you said, those options that we've always had where you can go into these specific stores. Sometimes you can find some things and you find these hidden gems or these surprises. Not having those things, it changes the way that a lot of people shop, especially when you're a bigger person. You do need to be able to try things on and see what it's like. I think it's pretty evident that the internet is pushing people to buy online. It's making it a lot easier to find things, to give things a try. Plus, we've got the pandemic, so less people are going to stores. They're just they're not taking the chance, or they just don't want to for whatever reason. So we're seeing a lot less of that. And I think it's kind of pushing forward things that we've sort of already been seeing for years, where less people are going to stores to buy things. They're doing it all online because why not? It's easier.
It is so much easier. You can kind of browse without maybe the pressure to buy so much, or dealing with the crowds of people, or
Right.
having to dig through stacks of clothes to find your size is kind of annoying. My partner and I just went to the mall yesterday, actually.
Oh.
We wanted to go. There was a new Korean barbecue place at the mall that we wanted to check out, which was an hour and a half wait.
Oh.
So we ordered and then wandered around the mall because we're like, what else are we going to do?
Right.
Had our masks on and just kind of wandered around looking. And it was interesting to see how, there were people around. But like we went to JCPenney because we knew that there was lots of sales going on there and they have a big and tall area. But as soon as you walk in, it was just kind of a mess everywhere. And it like my anxiety kind of goes through the roof when I'm just seeing piles on the tables. It's like, oh my God, even if I did find something, I'm never going to find it in my size, kind of thing. So I'm just like, I don't even really want to look because I don't want to have to dig through this pile of shirts or jeans or shorts or whatever. Bjorn found like a shirt or something, and I was just like, I don't know, I can't handle this.
That's the thing with JCPenney is that I love shopping at JCPenney because I found lots of things there.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a mess sometimes. You go in and you do have to search through everything. You have to be willing to go in, spend that time, go through everything, and hope for the best.
I'm like, I don't need anything that bad. I was like, ooh,
right.
All these jeans are $10. And then I'm like, they're not even sized. I'm not even going to.
Right.
I'm like, I just start flipping through the rack and I'm like 46, 58, 32. I'm like, okay, no, I can't.
Right.
It hurts my brain.
Another thing that we're running into right now is that obviously because of the pandemic, less people are dressing up for work. And a retailer like Men's Warehouse, suits are their thing, man. They do. That's when you think of Men's Warehouse, that's what you think of. Yes, they have other things, but they're really dressing you for going to the office or for going to some formal event. It's really, I feel like, this is my personal opinion, is that a lot of what they offer is kind of it's like a holdover from another time, maybe a decade ago or more, where everybody had a suit. People were dressing up more for work, for events, that kind of thing. And that has been changing. People certainly still dress up, but not in the same way that they traditionally did. I think that the customer that probably goes to Men's Warehouse is a bit older. And, my guess is going to be that less of those people of that customer base is going out to do any shopping right now. Mm-hmm. Since people aren't dressing up as much for work, if a company like Men's Warehouse can't pivot to offer other things, they're not going to get anywhere. They're going to lose sales.
I've only noticed like suits and dress shirts, maybe some higher end denim, but anything other than that, I wouldn't even like, I don't know what else they would even carry.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even think to go there unless I know that a lot of people would go there to get like rent a suit or rent a tuxedo or
Sure.
something for a wedding. Like I've done that a couple times, had to go and get fitted for like a vest or something for someone's wedding. And that's the only thing that I would ever go there for, because I just don't associate them with anything casual or anything
Sure.
outside of wedding stuff or a formal wear kind of thing. So yeah, I really don't. I'm interested to see how they're gonna shift, because like you said, people in I mean, the big majority of people are not wearing suits anymore. So like,
Sure.
I don't know what they're gonna do.
This whole thing is really going to push a lot of existing companies to be smarter and quicker about what they offer, and to really think about their customer in a way that they haven't had to. A big established company like this that has stores all over the country and has for decades and decades done what they do. It doesn't, nobody was ready for this, but they don't seem to be in a place where they can just pivot quickly. And since they can't, that's where we're at. And so like we've talked about, people are shopping online. It's not perfect. I mean, obviously it's nice to be able to try on clothes before you buy something. When you're shopping online, you can't do that. A lot of places are going to let you return things easily, but there's still more to the process, and that process isn't perfect. So it's better than nothing. Is kind of where we're at right now. So
yeah, I'm literally scrolling through the Men's Wearhouse like casual shirts, and for them maybe these are casual, but I would definitely not consider most of this casual.
Right.
They do have a few polo shirts, which I didn't even know they did. I've never seen those in store. So,
yeah, I do think it's an older customer. I think that a lot of men's stores, especially men's that offer big and tall and that kind of thing, if they're doing suiting and all of that, their average customer age is a bit older, and so they cater to that. And there's definitely a need for stores that focus on that older customer. But I don't know, as your customer gets older, they sometimes age out of some of this stuff. So
definitely. Yeah. And I even think, even at DXL, I can't remember what our average age is, but it's up there.
Sure.
And I keep trying to push we need to reach out to a younger audience to get a new group of people in, because there's a lot of, 20 somethings, 30 somethings that are looking for trendier stuff. We talk about this all the time. People want trendy, high fashion items.
Right.
And those are hard to find a lot of times. So getting away from maybe not, ignoring that older customer, but also thinking about who's the next group of people that are going to come through. Who's ready to buy their own clothes.
Yeah.
Having mom shop for them all the time or whatever,
Right. Right. And also with the older customer, I think it's thinking about, and I'm not seeing this at all when I look at these more traditional big and tall retailers, is that they aren't thinking about how trends can change for their older customers. I know and I get that a lot of people are set in their ways and they're going to buy the same thing that they've worn for years and years, but there's probably some flexibility there to do something else that is maybe a little more modern, and I don't know. It really will be interesting to see how Men's Wearhouse, if they continue long term, how they're going to approach this and what they're going to do. I think that there are other big and tall retailers out there, and I do know that there's one that a few years ago, at least, their average customer age was about 64, and that like I said, there's absolutely no problem with focusing on this audience, and it's absolutely a customer demo that needs clothing. I mean.
Yeah.
I hope that when I'm 64, there are clothes that I actually want to wear. But I think, I feel like a lot of brand or a lot of companies kind of just phone it in for, it's this thing we've talked about with Big and Tall for so long, is that it felt like for so long, Big and Tall was giving us whatever they had, and we were supposed to like it and be happy with it.
Yeah. Absolutely. The really kind of oversized pants,
right.
Kind of Hawaiian print shirts or tie-dye shirts, even though some of it I'm okay with.
And you can
But not,
modernize that stuff,
yeah,
you
you
know?
can definitely modernize the
Yeah.
prints and the colors. But when that's the only thing, then I'm like, well, I don't want that because
Right.
that's the only thing that there is. I don't want to be just like everyone else. I want to have my own personal style, my own personal flair on whatever options are out there for me.
Totally agree. And now I would like to have my own personal beer. I think
Oh,
it's
okay.
time. It feels like it's time for us to drink.
Yes.
Yes. So,
what do you have, Bruce?
so I have the Budweiser of London, Fuller's ESB.
Fuller's ESB.
Yes. Yeah. So I say that because I like some of Fuller's beers. They're real easy to drink. Just a good beer to just kind of have on hand. And I was drinking one at one time, and someone was like, well, that's like Budweiser in the UK. It's like a really generic kind of basic beer. Like, all right, well, what I got to say for Budweiser is that they've got it down. It works for them. They've been selling a lot of it for a long time. I can't crap on those kind of beers. It's nice to have those sometimes. So,
and it's one that you like, you said?
Yeah, Fuller's ESB. It is a beer that I've had before, but I saw it and I haven't had it in a long time, and so I had to go back to it. It says the ESB extra special beer that started it all. Multi-award-winning Fuller's ESB is acknowledged as one of the world's finest beers. So somebody liked it. Somebody somewhere said this is one of the world's finest beers.
All right.
The unique blend of Northdown, Target, Challenger, and Goldings hops balances the rich malty notes for a smooth, full-bodied beer bursting with marmalade fruitiness throughout. Now, I'm going to say that I don't really. Let me test that. Yeah, I mean, I don't really taste much marmalade, but I'm not a marmalade guy, so I will say it's malty. It is an easy to drink beer. Yeah, I like it.
Nice. Well, mine is called Peach Made in the Shade.
Hey,
From Ninkasi Brewing Company. It's a summer IPA.
Nice.
Obviously, a peachy one, I'm assuming. A seasonal release from them. Oh.
Yeah, Made in the Shade is one of their I think more popular beers. So adding some peach to it, that's a fine touch. A fine touch. Let's see. What do you think? Yeah,
it's got the hoppy bitterness in there, though.
Yes,
more than the sour tart of the peach.
Nice.
So that's different from one I've had. I think on the last episode I had a really sour one.
Ah, yes.
It says, take a sip and delight in the refreshing tart notes of peach and grapefruit. Oh, maybe that's what it was. Dancing freely on your tongue. That's the essence of summer bursting from Peach Made in the Shade.
Nice.
It's a 7.3 ABV and a 71 in IBU. So
there we go.
Ninkasi Brewing.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah.
And I think that is some grapefruit, but it's like the hoppy bitterness in there.
Are you tasting the peach as well? Like, is it anywhere in there? Sometimes you get those beers and you don't get that.
No, I'm maybe a little.
Yeah.
Kind of at the end, but it's a grapefruit and hoppy.
Every time I get a beer that's like that and I don't taste it, I'm like, is it the beer or is it just that I have an unsophisticated palate? It makes me wonder.
Yeah.
I'm going to blame the beer.
Yes, it's always the beer's fault, but
because I'm very sophisticated. Very.
Yes, with your ESB,
your
Budweiser.
Yes, absolutely.
So make sure you can follow along on the Untapped app. We put all of our beers on a little list. You can try and get some of the beers in your area. You can toast us. You can send us recommendations. All that fun stuff.
Yes, indeed. So. Yeah, so as far as the bankruptcies go, I think we're going to continue to see the landscape kind of change, and I think that companies are going to have to be smart about the products that they sell and really focus on current needs. And currently, a lot of people need clothes that they're going to be comfortable in when they're working from home. They need clothes for running down the street to the grocery store or running quick errands. They aren't looking to dress up and throw on that suit and go sit in the office. They're not, if you're not being around other people and you're being socially distanced, you can't be social. Getting dressed up is less interesting. It's less compelling. I don't think that people are as focused on that right now. And so, we're seeing that as people buy the basics. And I think, for the time being, at least until we are able to safely go out and be around each other again, that's going to be the case. That's our short-term outlook.
Yeah, I think, like definitely it's changed to super comfortable, casual stuff, maybe not even super trendy or seasonal. People are wanting stuff that they can wear a little bit longer duration, not super summery or anything like that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the rest of the summer into fall and what people are wanting to get. Probably stays kind of the same, similar with the comfy, casual stuff, which I'm fine with. I'm all about comfort and being, being comfortable in whatever you're wearing. So I'm liking the trend so far.
Nice. Yeah. I'm with you. I think it's all about comfortable clothing, comfort food, movies, TV, books that bring you comfort, those kind of things. We want that because we're in a crazy time right now. So, whatever we can get in our day-to-day lives that kind of fits into that is definitely needed. And I think another thing that companies are going to have to think about, these different retailers will have to consider, is price point. If you're selling a high dollar suit and nobody's going to the office, they're not going to want to pay for that. If you're selling clothing at a really high price point, we're seeing luxury clothing brands have had some of their worst quarters on record. And yes, part of that is the pandemic. Most of that is probably the pandemic, but it's, the pandemic plus the fact that people just either don't have the money to spend on that stuff or don't want to spend their money on something that's super frivolous and that isn't going to help them in their day-to-day lives right now.
Well, yeah, people aren't going anywhere. They're not really traveling, so they're not, being seen as much as they would be. So you don't need all these new outfits and stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, I think at DXL even, they've modified some of the pricing on a lot of their basics and stuff, which is really, you can get like 3 for deals, and which used to be 2 for deals, which is really nice. So
yeah,
it's nice, like you can stock up on t-shirts or jeans or shorts or whatever it is, and polo shirts, all the kind of essential things that you need. And you don't have to be, breaking the bank when you're trying to stay somewhat stylish and update and get new shirts and stuff like that. Even if it's just for at home on the couch, or the, Zoom calls for work, or if you are going into work, you can wear some basic stuff. It's really nice.
Right.
I've been snatching up a few of them myself. So
nice. Yeah. I'm getting to the point now where I'm feeling like it's time to get some new things that I can throw in the closet. I've just kind of held off for now and
put on that clothing rack behind you.
I know.
Update some of the stuff on there. You got a lot of suits on there behind you.
I do indeed. I do not need a suit. I have suits for like 2 weeks. I could wear a different suit. About 14 days. It's ridiculous.
You're beating me. I only have I have 4 or 5 different ones.
Man, so many companies have sent suits over, or we've done, photo shoots or different kinds of collaborations on Chubster. And so I've got these suits that I do not wear because, even before the pandemic, I did not have much occasion to throw on a suit. So,
get a suit to go into your office by yourself.
Right. Exactly. So it's about time to change all this stuff out. I think you're right.
There's lots of good deals out there. I know everywhere's got, killer deals, either sale, clearance, promo stuff going on. Definitely check out, you can go to all the different websites. You can check out Chubster's shop. They got links to all the good stuff. That's definitely a good spot to check out.
Definitely. Yeah. And even though things are changing, I don't think that we're going to see the total end of some of these companies. They will come through bankruptcy and they will be different, but they're still going to be around. So you're still going to have some options. It's just going to be different. So
nobody knows what it is yet. I don't think.
Right. It will be.
That is I was reading a little bit on what Chapter 11 was, and it's like a restructuring It doesn't mean that they're necessarily going out of business or
Right.
closing down. Yes, they probably will close some of the locations that they have to reduce some of their debt and the money that's going out.
Sure.
But they like restructure their debt and their finances and try to figure out what they can do to keep going is what I think the initial what Chapter 11 is all about.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, if you think about it, there are a lot of companies that are paying for shops and locations, even though they've been closed. So they're still paying rent on those places.
Oh yeah, we're paying rent for that whole time.
So yeah, I think you're still going to have some options. It would be great to know if you're listening to this. Are you shopping for clothes? Where are you shopping for clothes, and what's important to you? Are you looking for the day-to-day stuff, or are you dressing up? Are you putting on your 3-piece suit and looking really good and going into the office? What's happening? Let us know at Heavy Conversation all over social media. You can reach out and tag us there and let us know what you're wearing and how you're dressing up for the occasion.
Yeah, I want to see some outfits. Maybe if it's your work from home outfits, even.
Yes.
Tag us in your post, please. I want to see.
Please. And of course, subscribe to Heavy Conversation if you're not already subscribed. Tell your friends about it. Share it with everyone that you know. Lots of episodes, lots more good stuff coming each week. Every Tuesday, a new episode. So subscribe. Tell everyone you know.
All right. Well, thanks, Bruce. I appreciate you coming along on this little bankruptcy episode.
That's right. Until next week. See you, Jody.
Everyone. Bye, Bruce.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Heavy Conversation. Be sure to like and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your
podcast.